heartbeat, but it's skipping every beat. I've got the dust of 3 states on these boots and on this seat. My knuckles tell a story that my mother shouldn't read, but you're the only prayer I got in a life of hollow greed. I'm a shadow in a suit, I'm a ghost behind the wheel, just a man who forgot how a human's supposed to feel. The barrel's cold against my hip, but your memory's keeping me warm. I'm a man built for the thunder, finally tired of the storm. I've got rough hands, but it's a real love, the kind that bleed, the kind that won't rise above. I've walked through the fire just to stand in your rain. I'd trade all my kingdoms to carry your pain. Yeah, these hands are scarred and the sins run deep, but you're the only secret that I'm honored to keep. Rough hands, real love. They call me a gentleman, but they never seen the dark. I've left a trail of broken glass in every jagged mark. But when I look at you, the gangster fades away. The wolf becomes a beggar, finding words he'll never say. The world is at my feet, but I'm kneeling at your throne. I'm a king of the wasteland, baby, I'm sick of being alone. The sirens are singing, they're coming for the crown. Let them burn the whole forest, let them tear the building down. If I go out in a blaze, if the light finally dies, let the last thing I see be the truth in your eyes. the lining, but he couldn't stitch the soul. I'm a midnight silhouette, out of all control. Polished shoes on floorboards that are rotting underneath. I keep the silver in my pocket and the iron in my teeth. The desert wind is calling out your name across the sand. I'm a king without a kingdom, just a deck without a head. I'm the ghost of every promise that I ever meant to keep. A man who's earned his wages, but he's lost the right to sleep. The tuxedo's fitting heavy like a suit of rusted mail. Just a gentle and morning on a bloodstained dusty trail. Oh, it's a gentleman damage, baby, high class red, with the weight of your memory like a noose around my neck. I'm powerful and broken, I'm the shadow and the flame. I burn this city down just to hear you speak my name. A cold-blooded lover with a heart of liquid lead. I'm the finest dressed disaster that you've ever left for dead. They call me sir in bar rooms where the neon flickers low. They don't see the hollow places where the wild grasses grow. I've got diamonds on my fingers and a trigger on my mind. A gangster's way of living is the only peace I find. I loved you like a religion, but the temple fell apart. Now I'm just a well-dressed killer with a hole inside his heart. They say power isn't wrong, they wrote. They say a man like me isn't supposed to bleed. But look at these hands, they've held the world and they've held the girl, but they couldn't hold on to you. Yeah, it's a gentleman damage, baby, high class red, with the weight of your memory like a noose around my neck. I'm powerful and broke, I'm the shadow and the flame. I'd burn this city down just to hear you speak my name. A cold-blooded lover with a heart of liquid lead. I'm the finest dressed disaster that you've ever left for dead. Black tie, red eye, the desert is a graveyard for the wild. fix the lining, but he couldn't stitch the soul. I'm a midnight silhouette, out of all control. Polished shoes on floorboards that are rotting underneath. I keep the silver in my pocket and the iron in my teeth. The desert wind is calling out your name across the sand. I'm a king without a kingdom, just a deck without a hand. I'm the ghost of every promise that I ever meant to keep. A man who's earned his wages, but he's lost the right to sleep. The tuxedo's fitting heavy like a suit of rusted mail. Just a gentleman in mourning on a bloodstained, dusty trail. Wreck with the weight of your memory like a noose around my neck. I'm powerful and broken, I'm the shadow and the flame. I'd burn this city down just to hear you speak my name. A cold-blooded lover with a heart of liquid lead. I'm the finest dressed disaster that you've ever left for dead. Where the neon flickers low, they don't see the hollow places where the wild grasses grow. I've got diamonds on my fingers and a trigger on my mind. A gangster's way of living is the only peace I find. I loved you like a religion, but the temple fell apart. Now I'm just a well-dressed killer with a hole inside his heart. They say power is a lonely road. They say a man like me isn't supposed to bleed. But look at these hands. They've held the world and they've held the gun, but they couldn't hold on to you. Yeah, it's a gentleman damage, baby, high-class wreck with the weight of your memory like a noose around my neck. I'm powerful and broken, I'm the shadow and the flame. I burn this city down just to hear you speak my name. A cold-blooded lover with a heart of liquid lead. I'm the finest dressed disaster that you ever left for dead. Black tie, red eyes, the desert is a graveyard for the wise. I'm a gentleman, but I'm damaged. Yeah, I'm damaged.
Desert wind, don't forget. Neither do I. I've got a graveyard of secrets under a charcoal sky. I'm a suit and tie devil with blood on the cuff. Most women run, you had enough. But she sat by the furnace, she fanned every flame. She didn't flinch when the sirens called my name. I told her, baby, this shadow's got a heavy price. She just poured me a bourbon and rolled the loaded dice. She knew the rest when she kissed the smoke. She knew the rope would snap before it broke. A gangster's prayer in a velvet gown, the only queen brave enough to burn this city down. It's a beautiful tragedy, a holy kind of sin. She knew the door was locked, and she still walked in. My knuckles are scarred, my heart's a boarded up room. I'm a high-speed chase, headed straight for the tomb. I offered her a garden, but I'm made of thorns. I'm the quietest riot that was ever born. She polished my chrome, she cleaned my getaway gun, knowing damn well I'm a war that can't be won. Now the chrome is cold and the rain's turning black. I'm screaming her name, but the desert screams back. I was the predator, she was the prize, but the bravest thing I ever saw was the look in her eyes when the hammer clicked back. Yes, the chrome is cold and the rain's turning black. I'm screaming her name, but the desert screams back. I was the predator, she was the prize, but the bravest thing I ever saw was the look in her eyes when the hammer clicked back. Shadows eyes on the pavement, a gentleman's ghost and a lady's sin. She knew the rest, Lord, she knew the rest. She knew the rest.
I keep my secret in a silver case, and the ghost of your touch in a godless place. The desert wind is a serrated night, cutting through the static of this heavy light. I've got silver in my pocket and lead in my gun, but I'm a dead man walking toward a setting sun. They call me a king, they call me the law, but they don't see the cracks, they don't see the flaw. My hands don't shake when the hammers fall. I'm the coldest shadow against the wall. But when the room goes quiet and the lights go dim, the ghost of your goodbye starts closing in. It's a tremolo war inside my chest, a shaking heart that'll never find rest. I'm a gentleman suit with a killer soul, torn between the fire and the deep black hole. The world sees the power, the world sees the pride, but I'm losing the war going on inside. Yeah, it's a tremolo war, and I'm losing you all over again. I bought you diamonds with blood on the stone. Now I sit in this fortress entirely alone. A gangster's empire built on a lie, where the only thing honest is the way I cry. I keep my posture straight and my whiskey neat, while the memory of us tastes bitter and sweet. I trade every bullet and every gold bar just to be back in the wreck of your getaway car. The sky is Noir, the stars are cold. I'm selling a soul that's already been sold. I'm powerful, baby, can't you see? I've conquered the world, but you conquered me. And I'm losing you all over again. The rhythm fades, just the pulse of the guitar. Thump, 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 thump. I'm the king of the shadows, but I'm afraid of the dark. Thump, thump. The desert wind is whistling through the bullet holes in the door.
I got your name written in silver, scattered across the floor. I wore the crown you gave me, even when it turned to leave. A gentleman keeps his promises, even when he's better off dead. The city lights are bleeding, a neon shade of blue. Every sin I ever committed, I committed it for you. I'm a king without a kingdom, just a ghost in a tailor-made suit. Guilt is a bitter harvest, and I'm tasting all the fruit. They call it business, but honey, it's a war. And I don't know what I'm fighting for anymore. This is my shadow-burst devotion, written in the sand with a cold steel heartbeat and blood on my hands. I'd burn the world to ashes just to keep your spirit warm. I'm the quiet in the center of your darkest storm. Falling deep, falling hard in a beautiful, gritty way. A gangster's love is a debt you can never quite repay. I remember the way you looked before the smoke filled the room. A rose blooming steady in the shadow of the tomb. I've walked the wire, baby. I've danced upon the edge. I've kept every secret like a holy hollow pledge. My knuckles are bruised and my soul is turning gray, but I'd kill the sun itself if it got in your way. No mercy for the wicked, no rest for the brave. It's a sad, cruel magic, this life we chose to lead. But if you're the one who's thirsty, I'm the one who's gonna bleed. Yeah, I'm the one who's gonna bleed. Devotion. I'm just a man in a dark coat, standing in the rain, with a lifetime of power and a thimble of pain. Sleep now, darling, the wolves are at the gate, but they've gotta get through me.
never been late. The desert wind's a snitch, it whispers what I've done. I'm a suit and tie shadow, hiding from the sun. I keep my bourbon neat and my secrets buried deep, but there's a ghost in silk pajamas watching while I sleep. I offered you the kingdom, the throne and the street, but all I gave you was the sound of leather on concrete. I'm a gentleman by day, a butcher in the dark, trying to light a candle with a dying spark. I know I'm the villain in the story that you tell, but baby, even fallen angels deserve a place in hell. Oh, it's a heavy tread, it's a renegade. How much pressure can a spirit take? I'm polished like a diamond, but I'm cold and sharp and hard. Walking through your garden, leaving every flower scarred. It's the weight of the empire, it's the price of the parts, just the sound of my boots on fragile hearts. I've got silver in my pocket and lead in my gun. I'm the man you should have hated, but I'm the only one who'd burn the whole city just to see you in the glow, while I'm crushing everything that you tried to grow. My hands are stained with ink and blood and expensive cologne. I'm the king of a graveyard, sitting on a throne. Don't look at me with mercy, don't look at me with grace. I'm just a monster with a pretty hollow face. I'm the heavy step in the hallway, the creak on the floor. I'm the one who loves you and the one who broke the door. I'm sorry, but I'm not changing. The sun is coming up, but it won't find me here. I'll disappear like smoke in the atmosphere. Clean the scuffs off the leather, wipe the salt off the floor. I'll be back for the pieces, then I'll break them some more. Boots are fragile. Yeah, just keep walking. The desert don't forgive, and neither do I. Got a suitcase of sins and a lead-colored sky. I traded my halo for a snub-nosed chrome, searching for heaven I can finally call home. You were standing in the doorway of a low-rent bar, a flickering candle in a world full of scars. I'm a man of few words and 1,000 regrets, but you're the only game that I haven't lost yet. It's a no commitment, signed in blood and ink. We're dancing on the edge, baby, try not to blink. I'll be your armor when the bullets start to rain. I'll be the needle that can swallow all your pain. If the world comes for you, let them bring a firing squad. I'll stand between you and the judgment of God. Gritty and broken, but I'm yours to the bone. A king in the shadows, but I ain't alone. My hands are stained dark, yeah, gave in some dirt, but they'll never let a whisper of the cold wind hurt. I've walked through the fire in a tailor-made suit, burying the secrets and the bitter taste in fruit. They call me a monster, they say I'm a ghost, but I'm just a man who loves you the most. I pull down the stars and I bleach them all black, just to make sure the night never takes you back. The engine is humming, the gasoline's low. There's nowhere left for two outlaws to go. If this is the end, let the credits just roll. You got my heart and the devil's got my soul. Don't cry for me, darling, when the sirens get loud. I'm just a gentleman looking for a shroud. It's a no commitment, signing blood and ink. We're dancing on the edge, baby, try not to blink. I'll be your armor when the bullets start to rain. last look in your eyes. In a world full of shadows, you're the only thing that never lies. City's got a throat of iron, breathing salt and gray. I'm the shadow in the alley that the sunlight can't wash away. My knuckles got the stories, my scars hold all the dead. I've walked through fires that haven't even started yet. Then I step inside our door, and the monster goes to sleep. I've got secrets in my pocket that the devil couldn't keep. I'm a king of broken concrete, a wolf in a tailored suit. But for you, I'd pull my heartbeat out right by the bloody root. They see the steel, they see the cold, they see the loaded gun. They don't know I'm the moon that's only shining for the sun. I'm a gentleman of silence, a soldier of the street. But I'm nothing but a beggar when I'm kneeling at your feet. It's that whiskey of my cuff before I took your hand. I'm a ghost in war Americana drifting through the sand. They say I'm heartless, darling. Let them think that it's the truth. I spent my mercy on the world back in my wasted youth. All I've got is iron and a vow I'll never break. You're the only thing worth saving in this beautiful mistake. One
engines humming a funeral hymn. The sky's a shade of bruised up violet rim. I've got silver in my pocket and lead in my chest. A gentleman's suit, but a soul that can't rest. I built this empire on a foundation of scars, just to buy you the moon and a handful of stars. But the throne is a coffin when you're sitting alone, and the velvet feels cold when you're king of the stone. I wash the grease from my knuckles, put a ring on your hand. But the tide's coming in on our kingdom of sand. I can outrun the law, I can outshoot the ghost, but I'm losing the one that I needed the most. Can you hear that heavy drum's emotion, beating like a riot in the dark? It's the sound of a heart in slow motion, tearing every golden dream apart. I'm a king, I'm a dog, I'm a shadow on the wall, standing at the top just to feel the long fall. Yeah, it's heavy, it's that heavy drum's emotion. Desert wind tastes like bourbon and ash. I'm counting the minutes, I'm counting the cash. But you can't buy a minute of a love that's gone dry. And a gangster don't beg, he just looks at the sky. I kept the world at your feet, kept the wolves from the door. Now I'm the monster you don't want anymore. I'm a Noir film hero with a blood-stained grin, losing the war that I'm destined to win. Shoot the lights out, let the darkness roll in. I'll take the penance, I'll take every sin. If love is a crime, then I'm doing the time.
I keep my suits pressed sharp and my secrets deep. In a city of vultures that never sleep, I've climbed the ladders, I've held the steel. I've forgotten how most of these humans feel. But there's a ghost in the passenger seat tonight, dancing in the glow of the dashboard light. I'm the king of the shadows, or so they say, but I'm just a beggar since she walked away. The desert wind is howling like a wounded hound, and silence is the only God I found. I could burn this town just to see the spark, but I'm already freezing here in the dark. I didn't just love her, I loved her hard, like a bullet-torn flag in a graveyard, with the grit of the earth and the soul of a king. I gave that woman every damn thing. Now the bourbon is bitter and the nights are long, the armor is heavy and the heart is gone. Yeah, I played the hand, but I lost the card. God help, I loved her hard. I walked her through fire with a gentleman's hand, built her a palace on shifting sand. My knuckles are scarred from the wars I've won, but I'm coming undone like a smoking gun. They see the gold watch and the cold dead stare. They don't see the man who's gasping for air. She was the mercy in a life of sin, the only light I ever let in. I'm a wolf in a tuxedo, a ghost in a cage, just a dying line on a tear-stained page. Go ahead, tell them I'm ruthless, tell them I'm cold, tell them my heart was never for sold. But if you see her, don't tell her I'm crying, tell her I'm a ruling, tell her I'm dying. Loved her hard. I loved her hard, like a getaway car, like a permanent scar. I was a storm, she was a star. Now I'm just the dark.
got silver in my pocket and lead in my belt. I've forgotten more pain than most men have felt. I've built a kingdom on a foundation of bone, sitting high on a throne, but I'm sitting alone. I cleaned the blood off my knuckles before I walked in the door, but you saw the ghost that I dragged across the floor. I played the gentleman, suit tailored in black, but the devil was waiting in the seat of my Mac. You were the white flag in 100-year war, the only thing worth living or dying for. But grease and velvet, they don't mix well. I brought a piece of heaven down into my hell. No love left marks where the bullets missed, a scar on my soul from the night we first kissed. You can wash away the ink, you can burn the ledger clean, but you can't outrun the shadow of the things I've seen. I'm a king with no crown, a wolf in the dark. My heart is a wasteland, and love left marks. Desert is cold when the sun goes to sleep, and I've got promises I was never meant to keep. I told you I'd change while I pawn my chrome. Now I'm having a dream in a house, not a home. You left like a breeze through a bullet hole, babe. Now I'm digging a memory instead of a grave. I'm a polished up monster, a well-dressed ghost to the girl I love best and hurt the most. I can take a hit, I can take the fall, I can stand my ground against them all, but I can't fight the silence you left in this room. It's heavier than the weight of a granite tomb. I'm powerful, darling, can't you see? I conquered the world, but you conquered me. Yeah, love left marks where the bullets missed, a scar on my soul from the night we first kissed. You can wash away, you can burn the ledger clean, but you can't outrun the shadow of the things I've seen. I'm a king with no crown, a wolf in the dark. My heart is a wasteland, and love left marks.
under my nails, and a trail of ghosts on these desert rails. I don't speak of mercy, I don't pray for light. I'm just a shadow moving through the bite of the night. But when the engine kills and the dust starts to settle, you're the only soft thing in a world made of metal. The wolves are at the door, darling, let them howl. I've got a heavy hand and a sinner's scowl, but for you lay the iron down. It's a midnight bomb written in the scars, underneath the witness of the cold white stars. I'm a king of the gravel, a ghost in a suit, with a heart like a garden that forgot how to fruit. Except for you, yeah, always for you. It's a beautiful tragedy, black, gold, and blue. They call it business, I call it the weight of keeping the vultures away from your gate. I've broken my knuckles to keep your hands clean, the quietest gentleman you've ever seen. But don't mistake the polish for a soul that's gone soft. I burn the whole map just to keep you aloft. If the law comes knocking, or the devil wants his due, I'll take every bullet intended for you. It's a lonely road, it's a gangster's lie, but you're the only reason I'm afraid to die. It's a beautiful tragedy, black, gold, and blue. Two shadows on the highway, one heart in the dark. I'll be your armor, girl, till we're nothing but a spark. Midnight bomb.
The desert wind's got a debt to pay, and I'm the collector coming through the grave. Got a suit of silk and a heart of lead, living in the space between the quick and the dead. I clean the blood off the steering wheel, but I can't wash away the way I feel. Just shadow in a town that forgot its name, playing a gentleman's hand in a rigged game. The neon's flickering, it's screaming your ghost. The thing I love is the thing I hurt the most. I'm a king of nothing on a broken throne, 1,000 miles from a place called home. It's a dark blues promise written in the dust, a heavy metal hunger and a diamond gray rust. I'd burn this whole world just to keep you warm. I'm the quiet center of a midnight storm. Baby, I'm a monster with a polished grin, trying to find the exit where the grace begins. Oh, it's a long way down, and the fall is sweet when the king of the gutter dies at your feet. They say a man like me shouldn't know your taste, that a life like mine is a beautiful waste. But I held your hand while my own was stained, I kept you dry while I stood in the rain. I'm a trigger finger poet with a hole in my chest, putting my demons to a final rest. I'll walk through the fire in a tailored coat, with a sorry note stuck in my throat. The law don't want me, and the devil's afraid to look at the mess that this love has made. I'm a sir to the public, but a ghost to you, doing the things that a man shouldn't do. One last cigar, one last prayer, before I vanish into the Mojave air. Forgive the grit, forget the man. Remember the promise. Sound of a single gunshot echoing in the distance, then silence.
Desert winds got a habit of whispering your name across the dashboard leather and the ghost of a dying flame. Driving south of Mercy with a trunk full of regrets, trading pieces of my soul for a pack of cigarettes. They call me sir in the city, but they whisper wolf in the dark. I built an empire on the concrete, but you're the only spark that could burn the whole thing down with just a sideways glance. I'm a king without a kingdom, just a ghost without a chance. My knuckles are bruised, and the bourbon is cheap. I've got promises to break and secrets to keep. You say you want a sign that my love's still true. Well, look at the wretch I waited through for you. Because the pain equals proof of the life I bled. The words I didn't whisper are the ones I should have said. It's a gritty kind of glory, it's a Noir kind of blue. If I didn't feel the sting, I wouldn't know I had you. Yeah, the heart is a muscle, and I've worked it to the bone. The heaviest crown is the one you wear alone. Blood on the collar, salt on the tooth. In this cold-blooded world, baby, pain equals proof. I'm a gentleman by trade, but a monster by necessity. I carved a path through the shadows just to keep you next to me. I've got silver in my pocket and lead in my chest. I gave you the world, but I couldn't give you rest. Now the neon is flickering like a cinematic dream, and the silence in this Cadillac is starting to scream. You're the only thing that's holy in a life of beautiful sin. How can I lose the battle if I never let you win? They told me love was a sanctuary. They lied. Love is a battlefield where the winner still dies of thirst. You wanna know if I love you? Count the scars. Because the pain equals proof for the life I bled. The words I didn't whisper are the ones I should have said. It's a gritty kind of glory, it's a Noir kind of blue. If I didn't feel the sting, I wouldn't know I had you. Yeah, the heart is a muscle, and I've worked it to the bone. The heaviest crown is the one you wear alone. Blood on the collar, salt on the tooth. In this cold-blooded world, baby, pain equals proof. But just a shadow in the rear view, just a gentleman in the rain. If I'm still hurting, then I know
check the door. There's a shadow waiting on the killing floor. I wear the suit like a coat of mail, made of fine Italian silk in a story bound to fail. I kiss your knuckles, I hold your chair, while the scent of gunpowder lingers in the air. You look for a hero in the neon light, but darling, I'm the king of the endless night. They bow their heads when I walk by. They feel the thunder in my eye. But you see a man with a monster stance. You try to wash the sins from these scary hands. But I won't give you sweet talk, I won't give you fake, I won't promise a soul that's already guaranteed to break. I could tell you it's safe, I could tell you we're free, but the devil's got a wager on a man like me. This is love in the barrel, this is truth in the eyes. I love you too much for gentle eyes. No gentle eyes. We drive the desert, the moon is red, with a price on the heart and a price on the head. I'm a gentleman sinner, a polished stone. I built a kingdom on a throne of bone. You ask for forever, you ask for the light, but I'm the one who settles the score in the night. To keep you pure, I have to stay sane. That's the only way this power is maintained. The world gets quiet when I speak my name, but I'd burn it all down just to hide your shame. You want the fairy tale, the morning dove, but this is a gangster's kind of love. So I won't give you sweet talk, I won't give you fake, I won't promise a soul that's already guaranteed to break. I can tell you it's safe, I can tell you we're free, but the devil's got a wager on a man like me. This is love in the barrel, this is truth in the eyes. I love you too much for gentle eyes. No gentle eyes. Very cinematic and movie story dramatic. I'm the car crash you can't look away from. I'm the bullet that you never see come. I'm the power that breaks every rule, but for you, I'm just a fool. So take your heart and run, my dear. There's nothing but beautiful wreckage here. Yeah, beautiful wreckage here. No gentle light.
walked in with the midnight on my coat, smelling like gunpowder, whiskey and smoke. I'm a king in this city, I rule with a fist, a gentleman devil in the heavy mist. I washed the red off my knuckles in the porcelain sink. She poured me a glass, didn't stop to think. I'm made of iron, I'm made of stone. She was the flesh and I was the bone. I told her, baby, don't look in my eyes, you'll only see the wreckage and the beautifully polished lies. I locked the door to keep the wolves at bay, but she stole the keys and she walked my way. I was the numbness, I was the cold, I was the story that shouldn't be told. I took the hits, but I never bled. She took the silence and heard what it said. I pulled the trigger, but she took the sting. God help me. She felt everything. Yeah, she felt everything. We drove the desert in a black sedan, her hand trembling in a dangerous man's hands. I bought her diamonds to cover the cost of every piece of her soul that got lost. I wear the suit, I tip the hat, I hold the door, but I'm just a monster she was waiting for. She cried for the enemies I put in the ground. She carried the ghosts that I carry around. I tried to be steel, I tried to be tough, but for a heart like hers, it was never enough. I kept the secrets, I buried the fear, but she tasted the salt in every single tear. I was the numbness, I was the cold, I was the gangster with the tarnished gold. I took the hits, but I never bled. She took the silence and heard what it said. I pulled the trigger, but she took the sting. God help me. She felt everything. She felt the weight of the crown on my head. She felt the words that I never said. She felt the crash before the car even rolled. She felt the heat when the world turned cold. And when I finally broke, when I finally fell, she walked right down and she met me in hell. fire is gray, the shadows remain, but the light went away. I'm standing here breathing, but I'm just a thing, 'cause I felt nothing. Yeah, she felt everything. She felt everything. She felt everything. Put on the suit, I tie the silk knot, clean the barrel, hide the ride. I walk these streets like I own the pavement. Every shadow here is my distinct arrangement. I've looked down the barrel of a rusted 45, never blinked, never shook, never felt so alive. But you walked in with that vintage grace and put a different kind of fear in this place. No shouting matches, no broken glass, no jagged edges, no sins of the past. Just a gentleman's nod and a glass of rye, while you murder my soul with a look in your eye. It's a calm violence, baby, the way you take me apart. No blood on the carpet, just a hole in the heart. It's a silent riot, a beautiful crime. You kill me softly, one kiss at a time. Yes, the calm violence of love. I'm a king in the gutter, a wolf in the fold. I buy the silence with silver and gold. I've settled debts with a heavy hand, but I'm a beggar here at your command. You hold my heart like a hand grenade, pin pulled out in the shade, and I stand still, chest open wide, waiting for the shrapnel deep inside. I don't fight back, I don't run for cover. I'm the toughest man, but a broken lover. The jury's rigged, the verdict is in. I'm guilty of loving the chaos within. It's a calm violence, baby, the way you take me apart. No blood on the carpet, just a hole in the heart. It's a silent riot, a beautiful crime. You kill me softly,
calm violence of love. They say a man shouldn't bleed unless he's cut, but I'm bleeding out from the doors you shut. I keep my composure, I tip my hat, but God, it hurts more than a bullet, and that's a fact. It's a calm violence, baby, the way you take me apart. No blood on the carpet, just a hole in a heart. It's a silent roar, a beautiful crime. You kill me softly, one kiss at a time. The calm violence, polished shoes, broken man. The calm violence of love. I keep my shoes shine, keep the edges sharp. I walk a razor wire right through the dark. They kiss the ring, yeah, they clear the room. I'm the silence just before the boom. I built a fortress out of debts and fears, haven't shook a hand in 20 years. I'm a gentleman of the midnight trade, calculating every move I made. But then you walked in with that reckless light, tearing down the curtains of my endless night. I saw the danger in the way you smile, a loaded weapon in the hands of a child. Oh, I bet the empire on a single breath. I danced a tango with the shadow of death. They told me kings don't beg, kings don't kneel, but for you, darling, I wanted to feel. I put the ace of spades back in the case. I let my guard down, I showed my face. I burned the map to this hiding place. God help me, I didn't play safe. I didn't play safe. We drove the desert till the radiator hissed, trading secrets in the heavy mist. I left the gunman at the city limit sign, trading a jagged world for a moment divine. I knew the cost, yeah, I read the script. I tasted poison when our fingers slipped. A man like me isn't meant to love, we're meant to push until the others shove. But I love the rush of the open road, carrying your heart like a heavy load. You were the bullet that I couldn't dodge, the only holy case. I let my guard down, I showed my face. I burned the map to this hiding place. God help me, I didn't play safe. I didn't play safe. And now the silence is loud as a gun. The war is over, but nobody won. I adjust my tie, I straighten my vest, I bury the pain deep in my chest. I'd lose it all again just to see you laugh. I'd burn the kingdom for the other half. I'd burn it all. So pour the whiskey, leave the glass, watch the shadows as they come and pass. I'm the king of nothing, but I remember the taste of the beautiful tangy. But I didn't play safe.
I pressed my suit this morning, sharp enough to cut. Polished up my shoes to kick the doors that invite me shut. I hold the door for strangers, I tip the barman well. I walk with the grace of heaven through the darker parts of hell. You see the silk handkerchief, you
You see the diamond ring, but you don't see the heavy toll that heavy power brings. I'm a gentleman of violence with a chaotic soul, trying to fit a square heart into a round and bullet hole. They told you I was dangerous, a man made out of stone, that I sit upon a kingdom, but I sit there all alone. You stepped into the crossfire, wearing nothing but a smile. Darling, walking next to me takes you down the longest mile. Oh, this is love without cushion, baby. This is the crash without the net. This is the concrete kiss in the bone, the hardest landing you'll ever get. No soft place to fall, no brake on the wheel, just the cold hard weight of the way that we feel. Yeah, it's love without cushion, raw, bloody and real. Drove out to the desert. Its stars look down and judge. Buried all our secrets, but I still hold on to the grudge. You wanted a protector, a savior in the night, but I'm just a shadow boxer looking for a final fight. I poured you whiskey neat, no water and no ice, because masking up the burn, dear, just ain't worth the price. I can promise you my loyalty, I can promise you my breath, but loving men like me is dancing cheek to cheek with death. I tried to be gentle, I tried to wash my hands, but the blood stays underneath them like the shifting desert sand. You leaned into the impact, you didn't look away. Now we're standing in the wreckage of a beautiful decay. Cause this is love without cushion, baby. This is the crash without the net. This is the concrete kiss in the bone, the hardest landing you'll ever get. No soft place to fall, no brake on the wheel, just the cold hard weight of the way that we feel. Yeah, it's love without cushion. I wish I could wrap you in cotton and light. I wish I could keep you from the edge of the night.
but I am the pavement and you are the glass, waiting for the moment that the gravity will pass. Shatter.
Black suit, black alarms, leaning on a Cadillac. I've got a kingdom built on secrets that I can't take back. They call me sir in the lobby, but the devil in the street. Keep my leather gloves on so I don't feel the heat. But then you walk through the smoke like a holy ghost. The one thing in this world I wanted the most. I've got silver in my pocket and lead in my chest, a gentleman's silence, a killer's unrest. I tried to wash my hands, but the water turned red. I'm haunted by the living and loved by the dead, because the scars mean truth and the truth's gonna bleed. You're the only mercy that a monster could need in this Noir-stained city under a hollow moon. I'm a dying man singing a gangster's tune. I'd burn my empire just to keep you warm, the calm in the center of a desert storm. They say a man like me should know how to ache, but every bone in my body is ready to break. I bought you diamonds with blood on the stone. Now I'm sitting on a throne, but I'm sitting alone. I saw the way you look at the ink on my skin. Each line is a chapter, each curve is a sin. Don't look at my eyes, they've seen too much dark. Just put your hand on my heart and find the spark. I'm a king without a country, a saint in the mud. Our love isn't wine, baby, our love is blood. I'm a gentleman till they touch what's mine.
city under a hollow moon. I'm a dying man singing a gangster's tune. I'd burn my empire just to keep you warm, the calm in the center of a desert storm. Check the ledger. The debt is paid. I'm just a ghost in a custom suit. Scars mean truth, and the truth is you.